Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There we go. Put it in the chat if you can hear us okay. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for spending a Thursday afternoon with us. Please put in the chat if you can hear us okay. So making sure we're good to go for you guys. Hey, Nick, Larry, Raul. Welcome, everybody. Fantastic. Hope you all had a great 4th. Let's see here. Hopefully you can hear us okay. There we go. Can hear you okay. Awesome. Thanks, Raul. Perfect. Appreciate it, man. Fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Excited to do this. Yeah. Hopefully we had a great 7 days. Everybody's good. Sound good? 5x5. All right. Fantastic. All right. Good stuff, guys. David is going to be on here in just a minute. He's got a few mic problems, so we'll get started here in just a few minutes. As in the meantime, would love for you to jump in the chat, say where you're based out of. Yeah, Nick, I'm with you, man. Yeah, we had a lot of pool time, a lot of barbecue time with the family. I've got a 6-year-old, 4-year-old, and now 3-year-old, all just under 2 years apart. So we had quite a holiday weekend, I have to say the very least. So in the chat, put where you're watching from as well. That would be fantastic. I know a ton of people end up teaming up and doing deals that meet in the chat here. There's Dave. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I've got you. All right. Slight delay on my end, but otherwise good to go. So, good seeing you, man. How was your holiday?
Hey, likewise. Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, guys. I'm excited to be here today, man. I'm excited to get to chat with you, brother. How are things?
Let's do it, man. Good. Yeah, I was just saying, we had awesome 4th, awesome weekend with the kids and whatnot. A lot of barbecue, a lot of swim time. So it's been a fun few days. So, how was your holiday, man? Did you end up driving? And I know you were talking about aiming to do that at all.
I did drive a little on the 4th, actually. I didn't get to my 600 lead goal, but I think I probably got halfway there. I think I got between 300 and 350, which is still a ton of leads.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely.
Yeah.
So
I mean, on average, like that's you're doing your first deal. If you have a couple hundred leads in there, that's usually a couple hundred leads, couple times marketed each of them. That's where you're gonna get that first deal on average. So love to see you putting in the work, man.
Yeah, buddy. I love it, man. It's it's not hard. You just got to get off your butt and get out there and do it.
Yeah.
So I'd have to add up the number of leads that I did, but I'm guessing it was pretty close to 350, somewhere in that range. So go, man.
Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think we had people jumping in there and getting motivated themselves. Like, it's awesome to see people do this and take their time out even on a holiday and get out there and not make any excuses. Get out there, make things happen. I mean, that's been our whole goal with these 7 days. The 7-day challenge was, yes, to give you the playbook of what's working, to really show you, make sure you don't have to reinvent the wheel, show you what's worked, 10,000 times over, right? We've had so many people follow this exact playbook to go land deals, but it's also up to you guys to take action and to be active and to get out there and to run with this free knowledge and playbook, but to go make things happen yourself. So it's always inspiring to see that from the people who actually follow through like that, man. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming here today and being part of the 7-day challenge. I love doing these challenges. I usually will 2 or 3 or 4x, during a challenge, what my usual normal weekly routine would look like. And which is probably right. On average, we probably add, 100 leads a week, just because we don't always do it every week. But when we do these challenges, I'm like super excited and pumped to get out there and actually do it. Right. So I want to say I drove 4 of the 7 days, which is amazing, and added, 75 leads each time on average. So again, that, adds up to, somewhere between 300 and 350 leads. And it's awesome. I mean, this is not hard. You just got to do it. And then, of course, once you build your list, you got to market to that list. And Deal Machine is such a great tool because it helps you. It automates this process. If you want to skip trace one-offs, you can. If you want to skip trace in bulk, you can. If you want to send a letter or a postcard, you can. And if you even want to go in and set up a sequence to send them 2 or 3 or 4 of these, every 30 or 45 days or whatever you decide, you can. You have all the tools right there at your fingertips But I think, Matt, you said this, a little bit earlier here, just a couple minutes ago, but it's up to you guys to get out there and to add those leads. And it's up to you guys to start marketing to these leads however you want. If it's going to be with direct mail or, call in, texting, you can even get their email addresses when you skip trace them. So you can even market to them via email, but you have lots of tools. But again, you got to get out there and you got to do it. And to sum it up, I love doing these challenges because it gets me out there and gets me out there doing them, which is amazing. So awesome.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Like you said, you're already doing it in your business. It's just like, hey, let's supercharge that and really set some goals around it and hold each other accountable for it. And I love to see that you're going to find probably multiple deals out of the work that you put in over these 7 days.
Oh, man. Absolutely. So, I mean, we'll get several deals out of there, not necessarily this week, right? Because it takes time for mail to hit and so on and so forth. But, over the next, 2 or 3 months, I'd imagine from those, 300 plus leads that we'll land at least 2 or 3 deals. And then if you include time's a big factor here, right? If you include, let's say 6 months worth of time, I'd imagine we'll do 5 or 6 deals from those 300 leads, so it's not hard. You just got to put in the work.
Yep. I love seeing people, networking and encouraging each other in the chat here too. So jump in there again, say where you're based out of, and today what we're going to be talking through, we'll tee up a little bit of a quick recap of, hey, here's what this challenge was about. Really, if you missed the first training, the one we did on Friday last week, we'll go through a quick recap of what we covered there, of how to go build the most motivated list of leads out there, how to market to those leads. So we'll quickly go through that. I'll also resend out the replay for you guys. So that way you have that and easily, you can bookmark that. It's really easily accessible for you. So that way you can go back through and retrain yourself and make sure you do this, not just for these 7 days, but over and over again, and continue to hold yourself accountable and set those goals. And like David said, get out there and put the work in, and have that playbook to know exactly what are the right actions to be taking over and over again. So we'll go over a quick recap there. We'll go through today's live training. It's going to be really talking about, okay, how do you make sure that every lead you're following through with, you're always, having that next step in front of you. You're never letting a lead fall through the cracks, and you're making really strong, confident offers. So we'll go through that a little bit here for you guys too. We'll take Q&A. So again, use our time to be able to help guide you as best as possible. And really, Dave's a wealth of knowledge. how many deals have you done at this point, man? It's crazy.
It's almost 1,000. I lost track. If I were to guess, it's probably somewhere between 930 and 970 ish, somewhere in there. So I just rounded up to 1,000, and I make it clear it's not quite 1,000. It's pretty damn close to 1,000 though.
There you go. Yeah. That's, not bad. So I'd say, like, hey, you've got a small engaged group here going through this challenge, like use this time to ask questions, like get out there. There aren't dumb questions. We're here to help. So
yeah, absolutely.
We'll do that recap for you guys to start with. And then after that recap, we'll dive into the training for today, and then we'll wrap up with talking about the grand prize a little bit, and then hey, here's where to go from here. So
let's do it.
Hopefully that sounds good for you guys. I know I'm fired up. Dave's fired up. We're ready to go, guys. So what I do want to mention as we jump into this here for you too, again, pat yourself on the back. Regardless of what you did, you made it. You made it through these 7 days. You're investing in yourself. So you are able to get out there. And I see some other St. Louis people. I'm also in St. Louis, so I love to connect one-on-one with you guys too. Always looking to do that personally myself too. But first want to say you guys made it. You made it through the 7 days. Some of you got out there, and it looks like Nick's still adding leads, is up to 166. That's awesome. Way to go, Nick.
Awesome.
We have people who, hey, maybe you just added your first lead. Maybe you haven't marketed any of those leads. Maybe you're just investing in yourself and learning the playbook, but you haven't actually taken action on it. Regardless of what you did, like, our whole goal is to give you the playbook, so that way you're not just doing this for 7 days, but you are carrying way beyond this. And this is a milestone that really was, a kick in the butt to get going on this. Like, when you look back, we want this to be what got you started on your real estate journey and help you really take it seriously and really understand, like, hey, this isn't rocket science. It's a matter of when you're going to land that first deal, not if you follow this playbook. And it's just a numbers game at that point. So one, congratulate you guys on that. Ro, you didn't miss anything. We were just getting started here. Again, we'll send out the replay too, for all this stuff. So make sure to pay attention to your email. You'll get that. So that way you can Again, if you haven't even started on any of the homework, you'll be able to run through this yourself as well at your own pace. So we'll make sure to send that out. And Dave's sending that out too. He's been great to work with on helping you guys out throughout these 7 days. So just to kind of set the stage a little bit here. I know we talked about this last time, but right now you have such an opportunity to get out there and, really be a problem solver for people. There's so many people right now where, one, the market is such a question mark. You hear, I guess, uncertain, you hear people talk about, and it's red hot in a lot of places, and you hear recession in a lot of places. You hear, all kind, it's just very much unknown. And us as wholesalers, us as investors, we can come in there right now and really provide certainty to the market. We can come in and say, hey, if you need to move quickly, if you need to move as is, if you need to move, if you're looking for cash, there's a lot of tools we can offer to build a win-win scenario for motivated sellers who are either don't want to deal with the property anymore or are needing to get rid of that property. And you can help them out and offer that solution in trade for a good deal, and trade for a discount, and trade for equity on a property. So
motivated sellers are everywhere. You just got to get them on the phone, folks. That's really what it comes down to, is just, you got to get these people on the phone. Building the list is part of it. Marketing to the list is another part of it. Getting them on the phone is probably one of the most important steps here. So I don't want you guys to discount that, right? You got to get these people on the phone. Either they call you or you call them at the end of the day. Now, there could be some other marketing that you're doing, to get them to call you, or other things that you're doing to get them on the phone. Like, maybe you send them an email and they respond to your email and then you get them on the phone. Or maybe you send them a postcard and they go to your website and they fill out a form. But at the end of the day, you need to call them, right? All marketing roads typically end with a phone call. So I just really want to stress this for a second here, Matt. Building the list is essentially part of the process. Like I said, it's figuring out who you are going to market to. Once you have your list, you are not done. You have to then go market to that list, which essentially means getting them on the phone. It might not be the first step of the marketing plan. Maybe you're cold calling, and then it's the only step in the marketing plan. It could be the second or the third or the fourth step in the marketing plan. It depends on what kind of marketing you're doing. But again, to repeat myself, because it's that important, all marketing typically leads or ends with phone calls. It's getting sellers on the phone, which then gives you the ability to make friends with them and make offers to them and set appointments to go meet them and walk the properties and, determine what their level of motivation is. My goal is always, when I get somebody on the phone, always, no matter what, it's to learn their motivation. And if they have motivation above and beyond just, I'm just shopping for an offer, it's to then set an appointment so I can go do the things I just mentioned. Build rapport, make a friend, walk the property, see the condition, right? All of these things. So that's it. It's so incredibly simple. Matt, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I think it's very, very important to get that out.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. And I think that's something that you're so good at, Dave, too, is treating them like a person, really, coming across genuine, really figuring out like, hey, how can I help this person? And it comes to asking good questions. So we again, part one was, here's how to build a great list of potentially motivated sellers, the most motivated out there, which we'll recap today. Part two was, market to them. Here's how to think about marketing to them. Having that conversation with them is something that you do such a great job. And I know you coach people on that as well. Something where you really ask them, like you said, ask about their motivations, ask about, their timeline, ask about the condition of the property, there's a couple kind of key pillars to really have that conversation and understand, what is the problem they're dealing with? How can I bring value to them? And, if you can solve their problem, be a great problem solver, then people will trade a good deal for that solution. So
people are looking for convenience everywhere in their life. And this is just one little piece, right? But convenience equals discounts. If you're going to tell a seller, hey, I can't close for 6 months and I have 37 different contingencies, they're not going to be very eager to want to give you a discount and or work with you at all. But if you tell them, hey, we can close this in 2-3 weeks, we're going to pay cash, we're going to close fast, we're going to buy it as is, that's a ton of convenience. They're going to be much, much, much more eager to A, want to work with you, and B, work with you at a price that makes sense to you right? Which again is the discount that you're going to constantly hear us talking about, right? We can't really make money in real estate if we are paying full retail or above retail. Now, there's lots of ways to make money in real estate, even paying retail, but not necessarily overnight, right? We'd have to hold that property for a long period of time, pay it down, and or let inflation and appreciation take its effects. But guys, if we're buying properties for 50, 60, 70 cents on the dollar, right, we can literally flip these properties in a day, an hour, right, and get paid right away. So the bigger the discount, the more opportunity you have to get paid faster.
So that was our goal with this challenge, is really solving that number one issue that people are facing there is why don't most would-be investors get started? It's helping them find that great deal and know exactly where and how to do it. So this challenge gave you that playbook. We went through again, and really it matches our mission over here at Deal Machine. Again, Matt Camp over here, run partnerships for Deal Machine. Our mission is to give everyone the power of real estate investing and to give you the tools to do that, to give you technology to do that. We've had people do over 10,000 deals using the Deal Machine app and using our web and our mobile app, which again, I'll dig into today. I know a lot of you guys went through and are on the trial right now. We'll also provide that link for you guys too. If you haven't started it, you can try us out for free for 7 days. But a lot of what we talked about here coincided with that, where, we're really proud to say we're the highest rated and most reviewed app out there for investors to find deals. And, I know Dave's, been one of our customers for, 6-7 years now, or 5 years, at least 5 years, long time.
At least 5, probably 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we've worked with him to give you guys some special bonuses too. So we'll include that throughout this today too. But regardless, the challenge that we pulled from and the playbook that we put together is from people like Brian Haywood right here, who went through a 30-day challenge. Day 17 did his first deal, has done over 400 deals using Deal Machine since then. And he's out of Kansas City area, just north of that, with his wife and in a small team now that he's built up through this approach. Cody's another one right here who he started out in San Diego. Realized, hey, this is a little bit too competitive for me. And he started investing virtually in Milwaukee, did virtual driving for dollars, which we touched on last week a little bit as a strategy, or on day one as a strategy, and then has now hired a driver to do this, with him and for him in Milwaukee too. So we've taken it from people like Cody right here. And then Patrick's one last one that we used, his example of somebody who was literally sleeping in his truck, was trying to figure out how to change his life situation and invest in his own education through YouTube, finding real estate videos, through Deal Machine, and in 10 months did 14 deals, did over $150K in wholesale fees, and changed his entire life by going all in on this strategy. So cool to see people like that. I know I'm going to dive into the quick training recap. Dave, is there anything else on your end that you wanted to hit before?
No, well, let's knock out the recap so we can start answering some questions for people. I think that that's where we're going to find a lot of, meat today, meat and potatoes here, right? Meat and potatoes.
That's what we're here for. I also put on, to make it really easy to do the one click, that special offer I talked about, like the 7-day free trial,
awesome,
plus a bunch of money for the for marketing credits, like reaching out to people through postcards and skip tracing,
which is awesome.
Here, I just put that on the link out there for you guys too, if you want to check that out. But
Tracy had 250 leads over the last week. Hell yeah,
Good job,
Tracy.
Nice work. That's awesome.
Amazing.
Well on your way. Fantastic. So what we had talked about in terms of the challenge homework was getting to at least 100 leads. And the main reason being is that when we see people add 100 leads to a list, that really is the tipping point of they may or may not do a deal in those first 100 leads, but they are also, when we look at the data, way more likely to continue with this strategy, to have built out, start to build momentum, start to understand long-term how this strategy is going to evolve, build the right systems in place to start doing this consistently in their life. And, really just when we look at long-term success, where's that tipping point? It's when you get to 100 qualified leads, which, we talked about as a qualified lead being a house that's run down, house that has physical distress in some way. So it could be something really obvious, like a tarp on the roof, or gutters falling off, or siding falling off, or this time of year, it's like really overgrown grass, or, a really overstuffed mailbox that could be vacant. There's a lot of kind of small signs you can look for that you get better and better at identifying.
Man, I saw every single thing you mentioned in the last last 7 days. I got out 4 times in 7 days, and I literally think I saw every single thing you mentioned. I saw tarps on roofs. I saw boarded up windows. I saw overflowing mailboxes. I saw tall grass. I saw landscaping. I saw siding falling off houses. I saw melted siding on one house from, it must have been a fire or barbecue pit or something. I saw trees growing out of gutters. I saw dumpsters in driveways. I saw cars on cinder blocks in front yards and in driveways. There's, lots of other stuff. Those are just the things that come right to mind. And that's what Matt just mentioned. But I located every one of those things in just a couple hours time, driving around local neighborhoods in my city, and then adding those leads. And those are, like Matt said, those are qualified because you can see there's some level of distress just from the curb.
Yep. And
imagine what the inside looks like, guys. If the outside looks like that, imagine what the inside looks like. Imagine what that person's financial statement looks like, right? They're most likely struggling in other areas of their life if they can't even keep the grass cut, right? Something to think about. It really offers us a lot of opportunity to come in and make friends with these people and offer to help them and buy these properties. And, sometimes the property is the problem. We mentioned this on the first call, but sometimes the problem isn't the property. It's something else in their life. And by buying the property and giving them cash, right, they can then take that money to then go solve other problems in their life. And sometimes it's both. It's the property itself, and there's other underlying issues that they get to deal with. And that's one of the cool things about doing deals is not only are we helping people out and making money, but we're really changing people's lives and we're helping them solve problems. And, sometimes these problems are small, but sometimes these problems are massive. And it's really, really cool getting to the closing table and, having people give you hugs and cry and I'm saying tears of joy, not like sadness, tears of joy. Like, this money is going to change my life, and getting rid of this problem is just going to make my life so much easier. And it's going to remove all this stress, and it's just phenomenal. So I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. And that the condition of that property, like you said, it's an indicator that they may have a bigger problem. They may have something where they can't list this property. They can't go on market for for a variety of reasons. And, you're coming in and be able to work with them to solve that problem like that. And I think, in general, that the number one indicator of a motivated seller would be, hey, is this a fixer upper? Is this a property that has that sign of distress? So that's why we're focused on looking and identifying those through this challenge. We also, you're looking for leads that are the least competitive leads out there because, you're out there putting in the hard work to go find these houses that not everyone's putting in that work. Most people, they're getting their lead list in other ways. They're pulling a list and it's super easy. I mean, even on Deal Machine, we have a list builder option. You can just go in there, say, hey, show me all the, high equity houses in this area, and you pull a list in 5 seconds. That's something that you can do extremely quickly and conveniently, and also is a way that you can land deals, but it's going to take way more leads to get to that first deal and to get to that next deal going that way, because those leads are so easy to get a hold of. They have way more of a chance of being highly competitive, of being reached out to by other investors and other people who can do that exact same thing you just did, right? So, that was our goal with this, is to find the highest quality leads, the most motivated leads out there, the least competitive leads out there. And inside Deal Machine, I'll briefly show this off for you guys here. I know, again, this is the desktop version of it. And if you click on that little offer we put up, inside Webinar Jam right here, that'll show you how to get that 7-day free trial with us, just using that promo code there. But going into this, you'll quickly see, like, hey, here's as I'm looking around, let me find an area that I know we're active in. But if you jump on here, you can see, you've got a map right around you. This is something that you can change over to satellite mode as well, to be able to easily see all the houses that are right around you here that, you can kind of follow along really easily this way as you're driving down the street. But it locks onto your location. And if I'm driving down Neosho Street right here, for everybody who's in St. Louis that might, recognize South City right here, driving down the street, as you see all these blue pins, these are all leads that I've added, which, these are all properties that I've clicked on. Again, every black dot around you is a house that you can click on. You just click on that, you hit add lead, you move on to the next one, and it pins that property, and that way you're starting to build that list. That's what we're talking about when we say a lead is a property owner that you can then reach out to. So you're building that list over time. You're making it really just simple and easy as you're driving around, as you're looking for these rundown houses, see it in real life, look on the app. Again, anything I add on the mobile app, you also have a mobile app right here as well. Anything I add on the mobile app syncs up instantly with the desktop version. So they're both, going at the same time. You can drive around adding leads on the mobile and then switch over to desktop to be able to view those leads right after that as well. But as I'm driving around, it's going to lock on my location. It's going to drive with me. I can the mobile app, I can actually point. I don't know if Dave, if you tried this at all, but if you point at the property using your app, it actually pops up on there too. There's kind of like a augmented reality type view right there, which is pretty cool.
I've never tried that. I'm going to give that a shot.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's one of the modes on there. But yeah, you can just hit add and go on to the next one. So
nice.
That's what we're looking for here, guys, is we're looking around, you see all the black dots around you. You'll see there's a lot of cool little things we talked about last call, like route tracking. You've got a little green line that pops up behind you. So that way you never have to double back on your routes. You never have to guess where you've been and where you haven't. It just saves you a ton of time.
Yeah, that's super helpful too, especially if you got out and you're not necessarily zigzagging in and out of properties. Like, I did a couple drives where, I literally was going from point A to point B, and I maybe jet off on a side street for a minute and then come back to the main road and then kind of keep going. And it's like, there would be areas where it's like, hey, I've already driven this. It's like, cool. Don't waste time going down that street again. I've already been down that street. So like, that is awesome. I love that feature.
Yeah, that's a big one. And it turns yellow after 6 months and red after a year. So you can see over time, like, oh, I did a deal over there. Now it's yellow, that whole area. Let me go back over there and redrive it because it's a good area, clearly. Mm-hmm. So we showed off that a little bit last week. You can do it virtually as well. We had this start driving button right here. When you click on that and click anywhere inside the app and hit start driving, it's going to pull virtual driving for dollars, which is, clicking for dollars right into the app here. So you can see kind of South City, right here, and you can look and see, hey, is this, what's the condition of this property? Do I see any physical signs of distress there, and kind of move on to the next one. And, most major markets, you're going to see it. They've taken the photo somewhat recently within the last year or two. This is May 2022 right here. So just like you would in real life, it's going to, really help you add leads this way as well. And, we showed off that option a little bit last time. I know one other thing, if you're on Deal Machine Pro, you get a highlights button, which is something that is basically overlaying data on top of the map right here, where you could click that and just say, hey, yeah, show me all the houses that are, senior owned around me, and click on that and apply that highlight and be able to see really quickly. Let's see here if we can get anything to pop up. I know, here we go. We've got 3 property highlights that match. Let me jump back over here. It's a little easier to see them. So you've got, properties that are popping up right here, and make it so that you can overlay data onto the map as well. And that way, as I'm driving around and I'm looking for fixer uppers, if I see a property that also fits that criteria, then, hey, that's a really high quality lead. I should really focus on those with my marketing, with, adding my list too. So we showed off a lot of these kind of tips and tricks. Again, rewatch that replay. We're going to send it out, as well tomorrow, in addition to this replay for you guys. But that was really the part one of that training, was go out there, get 100 leads out there, start adding those properties. And, again, use kind of some of these pro tips here to make it just really fast, really easy, really efficient. Like, last one you mentioned was pin mode. That was another
I
one.
love the tap to add mode right there. So if you click on that, you can actually toggle between the two. And the difference is whenever in pin mode, you click it and it just pops up a little bit more information, which some people like, and they want to look at the lead a little bit before they add it. Me personally, I like to just focus on just getting as many of the leads in the system as I can. Yeah, because even if the lead doesn't have, let's say, 30 or 40% equity, and it's a decent little part of town, we can still essentially maybe get a listing out of that lead. So it's like, to me, I'm not necessarily trying to look at every single lead before I add them. I'm just wanting to tap on it, see that it populates, and then just keep driving, right? But again, to each their own. Some people may want to look at those leads, or they want to just go a little slower. I like tap to add personally because of speed. It allows me to go out and drive for 20 or 30 minutes and add 50, 70, 100 leads in literally under a half an hour's time, because I'm not necessarily caring as much about trying to go into every lead and look at it. I'm just add it to the list. Let's call them. Let's text them. Let's send them a postcard or 2 or 3 or 4. And let's just get some people on the phone, because that's really the name of the game. It's the quicker you can get people on the phone, the quicker you're going to have opportunity to go run appointments and make offers to people. I don't know how you're going to be able to make offers to people if you don't have, at a minimum, their email address or have ever spoken to them. I mean, I guess you could blindly send offers via mail, and some people do that. But to me, it just seems like a lot of wasted time, right? Why not just try to get them on the phone, see if they're interested, set an appointment, or just make an offer right then, right there to them on the phone. That's going to typically get you the best success in the shortest amount of time.
Nailed it. Yeah. So that was part 2 last week was, okay, when we have that list of leads now, we go into Deal Machine now and we see that every lead that I've added, every time I click add lead on here, it's populating right here as I build it. I've got, over 17,000 leads in Deal Machine. What do I do with these? How do I get in touch with them? What's the real next action step to going to having those conversations with motivated sellers like you're talking about, Dave? So that, like you just said, really the secret sauce is doing kind of a mix of follow-up, a mix of marketing to them, where you have this kind of short-term one-to-one marketing, and skip tracing would absolutely fall under that, where you click on a lead, you just go in here and say like, hey, yeah, let me skip trace this owner. And that means it's going to come back from our system and come back with you to give you phone numbers, to give you email addresses, to give you, mailing addresses, to give you all that contact information about ways to get in touch with them. And that way on the spot, you can click on that and say, hey, yeah, let me look at the caller ID. And is it a mobile or landline number? Is it connected? Is it on the do not call list? Is it landline? Really get a lot of kind of premium skip trace data right there. And that way, on the spot, hey, I can call them, I can text them, I can email them. Let me reach out to, David right here in all these different ways. And each additional marketing method that you reach out to them just gives you a higher odds or a better chance of getting their attention, of getting on their radar, being able to say like, yeah, maybe they don't answer phone calls, but they will answer a text or they will answer an email. It's being able to layer those things in. When we look at the data, you're getting exponentially more opportunity. You're kind of being a little more like, ever present for them, right? If they're getting a call and then a text and then an email from you. Right. So if you're able to implement a variety of ways to reach out to them and do it on the spot, that one-to-one short-term marketing, that goes an extremely long way. So that's where you want to start, is being able to come in, do this kind of short-term one-to-one marketing. And then again, the secret sauce is doing a 2-pronged approach, where if you combine that with long-term marketing, with something you can automate and scale and set it and forget, that's what those mailers are for, is being able to come reach in and maybe you knocked on their door, maybe you gave them a call, maybe you shot them a text, what have you, and then they didn't answer, but you left a voicemail. You just hit start mail, and you have a ton of options inside the app. You've got like 9 or 10 default templates right there, where you can come in and be able to say like, hey, is this your property on Neosho? And it's already preset for you exactly what it's going to look like. You can customize all this. You can switch it up. If you take a photo, switch it up. If you take a photo of the property when you add it inside Deal Machine, that photo will actually appear right on the postcard for you as well. So that grabs their attention even more. You're able to stand out even more that way. But doing this where you can come in here and say, yeah, send them a postcard every 21 days, do it 6 times, and you can customize when it's being sent and exactly what the postcard looks like. And then even the next step is you can even go in here and track your postcards and be able to see how many you're sending, how much you're spending on postcards this month, which ones are scheduled to be sent. You can do a ton right here. I could do a whole nother follow-up kind of masterclass on direct mail, but the point is you're reaching out with one-to-one short-term marketing through that skip trace, and then you're nurturing them long-term with these continuous follow-ups, and that is going to give you an extremely high chance of getting in front of them and getting their attention. So
absolutely, 100%. I love it, and this is so simple to use, guys. You just got to use it, and it's so cost-effective. I mean, this is the most cost-effective software app machine. That's why they call it Deal Machine to help generate opportunities for you. That's the name of the game, right? If nobody knows in a particular zip code or city or municipality that you are looking to buy properties, right? They're not going to call you. Like, again, marketing is all about expanding your reach and letting people know you can help them, and essentially just getting them on the phone, like I mentioned several times already, right? So that's the name of the game. And by having these tools at our fingertips, it makes it really, really, really simple to do the marketing. Building the list is part of it. Marketing is the other part of it. So once we get ourselves a list, it looks like Tracy added 250. I think I saw Nick added about 166, give or take. I know I added over 300 in the last 7 days. I was 50% of the way to my goal. But look what the power of setting a big goal did. If I would have set a goal of only 100 and I got 50% of the way there, I would have only had 50 leads added. I had my goal on the last call. If you were here on the last call, I said publicly here on the call, I want to add 600 leads. I only got to about maybe 350, maybe a little less than that, but somewhere between 300 and 350. But look at that, though. That's 350 leads essentially that I was able to add in just the last 7 days, right? So that's part of it. Now what are we doing? Well, we're sending postcards to every single one of those leads. We're also going to be skip tracing all those leads, calling, texting, sending mail to those individuals, right? Trying to set up opportunities to get them on the phone, to learn more about them, learn more about the property. Ideally set up an appointment to go view it, but at a minimum, making an offer to them on the phone to see if they are interested in the convenience that we have to offer. It's that simple. I mean, this is not rocket science. You just got to use the software to be able to then connect with these individuals. But the software is the best part. It makes it incredibly simple. I love it.
Yeah, the last little thing I do want to mention, if you're on Deal Machine Pro, if you're trying that out, we do have a little AI assistant as well that we showed off briefly last time. But this bottom right corner, Alma right here, you can go in and it basically says, hey, what do you want to know about this property? And this is something that's been awesome for like coming up with offers. And we'll get into this for today's training, but coming up with offers and really thinking through like, oh, I do want to text the seller. What should I text them? Well, hey, here's what a SMS message could look like. Just copy and paste that and put it in your phone and go. So, you've got a lot of really, really awesome stuff that the actual AI assistant can help you out with, in addition to, being able to just make you a better, real estate investor. So you got a little superpower in your pocket there too. So, awesome. So, again, that was last time. For today, where I want to really take this from here is being able to say, okay, cool. You're building a great, a great list of leads, the best list of leads out there, the most motivated leads. You're following up with them. You're starting to have conversations with them. You're starting to, market to these sellers. Now, how do you take it to that next level? How do you continue to follow up with them? How do you stay organized? How, what are those key factors that everyone from Patrick, Pat, the guy who changed his life that talked about, to Ryan Haywood, to everyone in between, like, what are they doing to be able to go close deals? Like, how are they staying top of mind? How are they staying organized and making, turning this into a real business? And one of the top things that we see for that kind of final step to really teach you guys and have you go way beyond day 7 with is they are never letting a lead slip through the cracks. They are staying very organized and following up, and really in any kind of people person job, anything that you're in sales or marketing or customer service or anything like that. If you can do this part right, you can put yourself ahead of like 90% of people out there. Like, this is one thing that's very difficult to do. And especially, if you are starting to have kind of 1 or 2 conversations with sellers, like, yeah, you'll remember the details from that. You'll know how to follow up with them. But as you start to do this more and more, it becomes more and more important to stay organized. So what we talk about inside Deal Machine is really kind of the lead management CRM functionality of what we have here, where every time you're driving around, you're adding leads. You also can import leads like this, where you import a list of any outside leads you've had in any other way you've gotten leads before. If you've pulled lists other places, or if you have spreadsheets of them, like, you can import those into Deal Machine right here too. And what it's going to do is you can come in here and use this as really kind of a pipeline management tool, where you can, go in and say, hey, yeah, let me change my lead status. I have an offer sent to them. I have one under contract. I'm closing and I lost the deal. You can use this kind of like to manage your pipeline a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can filter your leads. You can go in here and say, yeah,
show me all the leads that I made an offer on so I can follow up with every one of those people and see why they don't like the offer, why they haven't signed the offer, or they considering it, so on and so forth. You can do that with appointment set. You can do that with any of these different filters. So you can then also, not only stay focused on what's important, but you can just kind of keep track of what's going on. Being organized is a big part of this, right?
Yeah.
You want to definitely utilize these filters in here, and they're really simple. You just toggle them, right? You just literally click and toggle. It's so simple. But that is a really, really great feature there, man. I love that.
Yeah, we see that just for people who are landing again that first deal, but then many deals after that, they've gotten this down. They've gotten the system down. A big one right here that you can see is tagging. So when you add a property, it'll actually pop up on your phone and say, do you want to tag this property with anything? And you can even create your own custom tags, like whatever you want. And I love doing high priority. So that way I know, like, hey, if there was something that really tipped me off to this, or maybe I put on a highlights filter and it was highlighted and I was driving for dollars and it was run down, like, all these factors really show you, hey, this is a high priority lead I want to focus on first. I mark it high priority. I filter by that every morning and I look and go through those leads first, because they are the ones that I think, hey, I think if I can get them on the phone, they're really dealing with something. So, and they're a good, in my buy box. So I think the filters, that's fantastic. Last two things for staying organized. One is taking notes. So, every individual property that I go to here, I have a activity tab right here, where if I click on that, I can then add notes. I can click and say, hey, let me add a note about a conversation I had with the owner right here. And that way you can just stay really organized, and you can say, hey, this they have 2 kids. It was an inherited property. It was, they've got, here's what they're dealing with here. Here's why they want to sell it. And, I just post that note. Anytime I come in here, I can review my last conversations with them and be able to stay really, really organized that way as well. So, taking notes on those conversations, again, is something that is, something that will keep you continuing to focus on what problem you were solving for that person, because you can easily review that past information and stay really organized. Last thing right here, the task manager, when you hit add task, that's one that I use literally every time I jump in a deal machine. I look at my task manager, and if I talk to this person, they say, hey, yeah, cool, come by, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Well, appointment at 2 p.m. I could just set that for tomorrow. And that way I create that task. And now when I jump into deal machine, right here's my task manager in the top right corner. Click on that, see that, okay, hey, I need to go on this appointment today. And when I do, I complete that, mark it complete, and then keep going. So
I love it.
Notes
and tasks is what a CRM is. That's it. It's all it is, right? And they have the ability for you to not only take notes and add tags to a property, but then add a task, right? So, some of the things that I tell my team, anytime that we have a property in our CRM, they need to take notes any and every time that they communicate with that seller. A text is sent, a text is received, a call is, answered, a call is made, an email is sent. Make a note. I want to know about it, right? And then there is no reason that any lead in our system that hasn't already been marked dead doesn't have a task, right? So if you're doing any sort of marketing, calling, texting, you need to go in and you need to create a task saying, hey, call back in a week, call back in 2 weeks, send them a postcard, do something, right? Because just adding the leads to the list and not marketing to them is about as, it's basically the same thing as not adding the lead at all, right? You got to market to these leads if you want to have success in this business. Adding the leads obviously is part of it, but it's not the full story, guys. It's just chapter 1, right? Chapter 2 and 3 and 4 is all about the marketing to these individuals and creating that opportunity to then make the offer and go run the appointment. I mean, I think I said that 3 times on this call now. Like, it's that important, though. I might even say it again before the call ends up. It's that important. I love it. Matt, this is awesome. Thank you so much for doing this demo and showing us some of these other additional features like lead status, how to create a note, how to add a task. Guys, this 7-day first deal challenge isn't all just about going out and getting a free trial of the software and using it once or twice. It's about getting the software and utilizing it once or twice a week at a minimum. Ideally, you can jump in here every day or every other day. And you're never going to hear me say, oh, you need to go spend 6 hours a day using this. Like, that's kind of unrealistic, right? But can you jump in here for 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, maybe 45 minutes every other day? Like, that isn't unrealistic at all. And essentially, for under $100 a month, you have the ability to not only create a list, create notes on that list, add tags to those leads, create tasks for those leads, market to those leads, skip trace those leads to get the phone numbers and the email so you can call, text, email. You can even set up sequences. You can pull lists. I mean, the features that they have in here are amazing. You can even use this software and this app to run comps. Alma, the AI assistant that Matt was showing a little earlier, is an amazing tool. It'll help you write a script for a text message. It'll help you with bullet points to essentially ask on a cold call. Don't know what to offer? Alma can help you determine what a good offer is. They can also help you determine what the ARV would be, for a property that square footage in the area. Now, obviously, it's not going to know repairs. It's going to estimate. So there's going to be a little bit of human interaction that you're going to be able to, need to do on each of these leads. But the amount of tools that are here at your disposal are endless. I mean, there is so much value here to help you get started. To do what? I'm going to say it for the fourth time. To get people on the phone, to set appointments with these people so you can get out there and you can make friends with them, and then you can go and you can make offers and win deals, right? I don't know anybody out here winning deals that's not making offers. I mean, think about it. Like, you can't skip step 4 or whatever step that would be to make the offer, right? To get the contract signed, you got to make the offer. It's part of the sequence in doing deals. And in fact, one of the coaches that I hired right out the gate about 8 years ago at this point said something to me that has stuck with me. And I think I might have even mentioned it on the last call, maybe briefly, but it's worth mentioning again, guys. The amount of offers that you make is directly correlated to the number of deals you're going to do. Okay. So I want you all to just essentially imagine yourself looking in a mirror for a second. Ask yourself the question, hey, how many offers have I made since Matt and Dave did this call? Was it last Thursday or last Wednesday or Thursday? I think it was Thursday, right? Last Friday. How many offers have you all made since Friday of last week? Well, I can tell you that my team and we've probably made 20 offers since then, right? And we're doing a lot of deals because we're making a lot of offers. If you haven't made a single offer to a seller since Friday of last week, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe you're just getting started. I get it. That's fine. But if you don't make any more offers in the next 7 days or the next 30 days, how do you expect to get a property under contract? I don't know how you're going to do that. I know how you can. You make offers to people. It's that important. So again, one of the main lessons that I learned from one of my coaches right out the gate, I think I paid him $5,000 for an 8-week program, and I would do it in a heartbeat again because it was that valuable. And one of the main lessons was the amount of offers that you make is directly correlated to the amount of money that you can make or the amount of deals, which is the same thing. If you don't make any offers, you're not going to do any deals, guys. I don't really know any way around it. If you're making 3 or 4 or 5 offers a day, I don't see how you could go more than a month without getting a property under contract. Think about that. 3 or 4, let's say you did 3 offers a day. Most months are about 30 days. If you're doing 3 offers a day, that's almost 100 offers that can be made in a month. Are you going to get 1 out of 100? You should hopefully get 7 or 8 or 10 or 12 out of 100. But you're definitely at a minimum going to get at least one person out of 100 people you made an offer to say, yeah, that sounds great. I like that. Let's do that. Right. But if you're not making any offers, Nobody's going to say, great, let's do that, because there's nothing to do. You got to make these offers. And I think that that's a really, really good way to transition ourselves into the Q&A. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd say it's a numbers game. It comes down to it. Like you said,
and look what Matt was doing in the background here. I'm over here just talking here.
But we talk about making offers, man. Here you go.
We're talking about making offers. And Alma, look at this. This is amazing. ARV, it's a little small. Let me see if I can make it bigger. 332,000 minus the repairs of approximately about 70, minus our wholesale fee of about 10%, equals our max allowable offer. This thing is going to help calculate the MAO. So the max allowable offer in this case on this particular deal that he clicked on, 3613 Ohio, was, scroll back down again for me, Matt.
Oh, here you go.
It was 228,800. So that means I'd probably go in about 210, 215. I got to build in some wiggle room. I got to have some area to negotiate. You never want to make the offer that the MAO says to make in terms of the max, because that is the max, the most you can be willing to pay. It's not what you should be paying or offering to pay out the gate. It's the most you're willing to pay. So if you're not building in some wiggle room and they say, yeah, that offer's too low, you need to come up, and you don't have any room to come up, well, then you can't really do a whole lot. But another reason, and I think I did mention this on the first call, to really, really, really discount that MAO is because what happens if my MAO is 228 on this particular deal here? It's a hypothetical deal. And I offer 210. And they say, that sounds great. Send me a contract. And I'm willing to pay 228. That's $18,000 difference between what I'm willing to pay and what I'm actually going to get the contract for. And some of the best deals that I've done, almost 1,000 of them, by the way, over the last 8 years, have come from me discounting my MAO 10, 15, 20, and sometimes even more, 25%, thinking they're probably never going to want to take that offer. And they say yes. If you don't ask, the answer is no. If you don't make offers, you are not going to do deals. Can you do deals? Absolutely, you can do deals. But you got to make offers, guys. It's literally the step before doing the deal. It's making the offer, negotiating with the seller, and getting that offer accepted. I love it. Okay, let's jump on in here. I'm gonna work backwards a little bit here. We do have some questions. Are contracts available in Deal Machine? No, contracts are not available in Deal Machine, Markeisha, but they are available in SKOOL, Real Estate School, REISchool.com. I believe you're a member over there. Go into the free wholesaling course. There's contracts in there. We also have a free contract generator. In order to use the contract generator, that is free, you have to level up. So you just got to get 15 or 20 likes on your posts. Not a big deal. Most people can do it in a day. It's free, but we want to encourage you to collaborate and communicate and be active in the group. So yes, they are available there. Jackie says, sorry, family issue, just joining. Question, who's buying the properties? Anybody and everybody that wants to buy a discounted property. Ideally, you're going to be looking for landlords and you're going to be looking for fix and flippers. Not only am I a wholesaler, right? I'm wholesaling deals all the time, but I'm also a fix and flipper and a landlord. And I am on a lot of people that market in the St. Louis area's buyers list, right? I am more than happy to pay a wholesaler. I paid a wholesaler just a couple months ago. I paid a wholesaler $30,000 for a deal. And I was happy to pay them $30,000 for a deal because they left meat on the bone for me. And I still went and made 40 or 50,000 on the deal myself. All right. So who are these cash buyers? Who are the end buyers? They are the people that you are going to meet at your local real estate investing clubs, AKA REIAs. They are the investors that are going to be in your local Facebook groups, right? So here in St. Louis, there's 10 different Facebook groups, maybe more, that focus on off-market properties, landlording, fix and flipping, wholesaling, so on and so forth. All of these people that are in these Facebook groups are potential buyers for your deals. I love it. All right. Looks awesome. Like that's all of a Q&A. Let's go into the chat, though. I think there was a couple other ones. Nick says, what a pro tip. The note. Yeah, the note and task feature in Deal Machine is awesome. All in one. Love it. Markeisha says, I think she was probably referring to the CRM, right? Yeah, which is awesome. And she says, I am a member. Awesome. Yeah, Markeisha, go into the free wholesaling course. You can download. We have a couple different contracts in there. I know at least 1 or 2 in there, and then we have the free contract generator. So there's tons of different opportunities in there to get contracts. We even have like option agreements, assignment agreements, maybe even contract amendments if you need them. They're all in there. They're all available in there. Or you can even just go into SKOOL and you can just search for contracts, and you can find them real easy that way too. Let's see here. What else do we got? Tracy says she added 250 leads. That is phenomenal. Nick says, easy to use the system. The 9 today were just ones I added one by one as I was running errands because I noticed the distressed looking properties. And that's another great thing about Deal Machine. You don't actually have to necessarily be allocating time to drive for dollars specifically. You can just be out running errands. I do this all the time with my wife. She'll be like, hey, you want to go to the store with me? And I'd be like, yeah, can we take a different route? And she'll be like, sure. And we'll just I'll take the long way to the store. And I'll find 2 or 3 properties that I'm not even necessarily having the app on recording my drive. Sometimes I do. Other times I'm just waiting until I find a property. And I'm like, hey, pull over for a second. And then I pull it up on the app and I click the pin and I click start mail. And then we're back on our route. So it doesn't necessarily have to even necessarily be a dedicated time slot. Now, would I recommend and suggest and recommends the word I'm looking for. Would I recommend you allocate 20, 30 minutes a day or, 30, 40 minutes every other day? Well, yeah, absolutely. I would. And I think Matt would 100% agree with me. But even if you're busy and you don't necessarily have the time to allocate every day or every other day, or at least 2 or 3 times a week, you can just go in real time and one-off add properties to the app in real time. And they've made it incredibly easy to do so. So don't discount that. Let me see here. It looks like everybody else was just making comments on, welcoming, letting us know where you guys are from. We got people from all over: Louisville, Illinois, STL.
I was going to mention really quick to Nick. Nick
Okay.
had asked about ARV as well. That's something you can either ask Alma, like, what is the ARV of this property? Or you can use the comps tool as well inside Deal Machines. If you click on comps, it'll help you pull up, essentially the same idea and be able to draw around an area and pull an ARV that way too. So you've got a couple of ways to do it, Nick. I can help you out there. I put my email in the chat, matt@dealmachine.com right there. So I'm happy to be a resource for you, man.
Yeah, Almo's a great tool too, though. I mean, like, comps are awesome, and I would highly recommend using the comps and learning how to run comps. But just when you're on the fly, sometimes you don't necessarily let's say you find a really rundown house and you just pull over and you skip trace the seller. I do this all the time. I would much rather make a call unprepared than not make a call. Think about that for a second. Not making the call doesn't really get you anywhere, right? So I'd much rather pull over. I see a distressed house. I skip trace the seller in real time. I call them. Well, while I'm on the phone with them, I'm going to just, at a minimum, try to get to know them and learn their motivation, ask them if they have any interest in selling. They might not have interest in selling. But if I didn't make that call, I wouldn't know that. If they do have interest in selling, which is pretty likely with driving for dollars leads, because these leads are essentially distressed properties. We can see that with our own eyes. In real time, I can go in, I can ask Alma to help me determine an offer. I can ask Alma to, give me her opinion of the ARV, or I can even pull up those comps in real time as needed. I love it. Rose says, I was intentional about driving for dollars daily. I love hearing that, Rose. That is amazing. And, again, that's what I encourage, recommend at the same time, encourage and recommend to every one of you guys. And even if you don't have 30 or 40 minutes, guys, I get it. But I think every single person on this call right now, and or anybody watching this replay, can allocate 20 minutes a day, or at a very minimum, 20 minutes every other day. All right. 20 minutes every other day is probably not even an hour a week. All right. Call it an hour a week. Do you have an hour a week to dedicate towards, building your business and, making money and creating financial freedom? I would hope so. I really do. Can we stay in touch with Matt after this? Marquisha says, yes, of course. Matt is an awesome guy, and you can email Matt directly, Matt@Deal Machine.
So what I was going to say to wrap up really quick here, one, you've got two different options. If you're going to try out Deal Machine at all, we have dealmachinedave.com. It's the offer I put up for you guys too. That's just a 7-day free trial there with $30 free inside the app that would cover those skip traces and postcards all for free right there. So make sure to go through either that, or if you're going through this and you're like, man, I could do this, I'm going to do this more than just a month or a couple months. Like I'm going to really commit to this, then definitely go through this link, dealmachine.com/Dodge, because you'll get essentially half off an entire year of Deal Machine, where you'll get Deal Machine Pro, which has all of the features for Alma, the highlights, route driving, adding drivers, all kinds of awesome stuff. And their Pro is by far our most value in terms of the plans we offer. You get List Builder too, if you want to pull lists in addition to this, and then those free marketing credits. All of that would normally be like over $1,800, and for an entire year it would be $990. So
that's amazing. 45% off. That's huge.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're gonna commit and say, yeah, I'm serious about investing in this and doing this long term, don't just pay every month, for 45% more. Do it for that big discount that way. I will leave this up here for you guys too. I want to mention, I know Marquise just said, can we stay in touch? Let me see here. Here's my email again. Consider me a resource.
There it is.
.com. So make sure to stay in touch that way with me, guys. We did talk about doing a grand prize as well.
Let's do it.
That's something. So what I want to do, I had a few people go through and try to complete this. I want to extend this for you guys only because we went through July 4th, and I know, I know that was family time. I know that that's something that people want to, it's hard to take time out of your day. I don't want to make excuses for people. You still got to get out there and do the work. But I will say, if you turn into me this weekend before Monday morning, I will also let you qualify for this. So I'm going to pay attention to your email, guys. I'm going to email all this out. But again, the homework was add at least 100 leads and then market to at least 100 leads that way. And, if you're able to at least reach out to them in some way through call, text, mail, what have you, at least one way to start these conversations going, then I want to reward you guys for that. So I will give you till Monday, and pay attention to your email. We're going to be doing the giveaway over email. So if you missed the deadline today, I was even checking my email. I think, Ro, you just sent in your homework while we were on this call. I will extend this for people who send in their homework, and one of you is going to win that $1,800 plus.
You guys got an additional 3 days.
There we go.
Right, you got to do this before, basically Sunday night at midnight is your deadline. It's got to be in Matt's mailbox before, and I know he's an early riser, so before he wakes up Monday morning, get that homework over to him, show him that you've done added 100 leads and marketed to them. You qualify. Just those two things, right, Matt?
Yep. And how you send it in, I send out an email. So Nick, if you're not getting my emails, let me know. But I sent out an email to everybody saying, hey, reply to this with a screenshot of those at least 100 leads. So that way you're proving it to me that you did that. And then include in there saying, hey, here's how I'm marketing to them. Here's how I'm having these conversations. Here's how I'm starting to reach out. And those two things together, you'll have qualified for the challenge and you'll finish the homework. So make sure you get that done before Monday morning.
Amazing. All right, Matt, thank you so much for being here and sharing this awesome, all this value and just giving us your time. I can't thank you enough. I'm so appreciative of you and Deal Machine for not only making this such an awesome, fun experience, but making it easy. I mean, this is so simple. Literally, you have an app that you can use. Nick says, I'm up early at 5:15. Ooh, that's a little earlier than me, but hey, Matt might be up at that time. That's right. But either way, get that homework in on Sunday or sooner. Do it today. Do it tomorrow, right? You got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got an extra 3 days to get that in. And then from there, Matt will reward one of you all with, what's the reward again, Matt? Fill us in.
It's a free giveaway. So we're going to have one of you will win. If you enter into the homework, it'll be randomly selected. One of you will win. It's worth over $1,800 worth of free Deal Machine, free marketing credits. Just basically give you the full toolkit. So you're basically obligated at that point to go land some deals, right? For the sake of everybody else who did the homework. So
yeah,
you'll get it.
That's a ton of mail. That's a ton of skip tracing. That's a ton of opportunity for you all to get out and meet sellers and make offers. You gotta make offers. Nick says, I want the 45% off deal. What do I do to switch to that? Good question. Just email Matt. He can help you out.
Matt@dealmachine.com. Again, too, from here, please stay in touch. I mean, I especially for you guys, when you land that first deal, we've interviewed hundreds of people on our YouTube channel of people talking about the deals they've done using Deal Machine. So love to give you guys shine too. Love to make you the next one as well. So please keep in touch that way. And if you want to upgrade to that 45% off deal because you're like, hey, I get this, I get the investment in myself, email me direct and I can hook you up there. So
it's a no-brainer in my eyes, guys. If you're going to use something, use it, right? And if you can save almost 50% on an entire year, why wouldn't you want to do that? So I think it's a great idea, Nick. That's how I personally pay as well. I do the annual because I can save a bunch of money because I'm using this thing. You know, I shoot to use it as much as I can. I know some weeks I may only get out once or twice. But again, that's why I love doing these challenges because it forces me to get out, 4, 5, 6 times sometimes in a week. The more you do it, the more consistency you have with your driving for dollars, your marketing, your following up, the more deals you will do. Consistency is everything, not only in real estate investing, guys, in life. I mean, just think about it. Consistency is the key to success. You want to have a healthy body and a healthy mind? Do you think that just eating vegetables once a month is going to get you there? No, you got to eat your vegetables every day, right? It's consistency. So it's not just about, real estate and driving for dollars. It's about everything. Success is all about having a consistent plan and then putting that plan into action. Matt, thank you so much for being here. This is always so much fun. And again, you are amazing. You always provide so much value. And I want to say thank you on, from me, obviously, but also on behalf of everybody that was, that took place in this challenge. You are a wealth of knowledge and you are just an awesome guy, man. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming and just providing value and giving us time and providing one lucky winner, $1,800 worth of free giveaways. Guys, make sure you get those scorecards sent to Matt before Monday morning. Try to do it tonight or tomorrow if you can, ideally. But if you need an extra couple days because of the 4th of July, he has graciously given you all that. So take him up on that. Take him up.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys having me. And I love doing these as well because it truly, it's so cool to see the transformation people go through when they really invest in this, take it serious and are like, yeah, I'm going to stop putting this off. I'm going to do this right now. And the momentum you start to build from here is, it's a beautiful thing. Like there's a lot of people where they start their real estate investing career is doing this kind of thing. So I really enjoy this.
I love it. I love it. Well, Matt, thank you so much. I want to respect your time. We're at about 4:10 Central Time here. So we went for about an hour and 10 minutes today. Get that homework over to Matt. And guys, we will see you all inside of Real Estate School. I'll be posting this replay in there. There's contracts in there. There's all types of additional tools, courses, ways to collaborate, joint venture with each other. We're constantly adding new trainings to the calendar. So we will see you there. And Matt, thank you so much once again. We'll have to do this again soon. Maybe we can do this again in August or September. That would be awesome.
Yeah, let's make it happen again soon. Love it, guys. Good stuff.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Signing off, buddy. See you guys. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one.